Cash Color Campus, high level of conversation. Do you still know how to step?
A little bit.
Really?
Just a little bit. I'm not finna show you no moves
I was about to
today.
say, there you go. Anyway. Y'all missed a really good conversation we had off air about black fraternities. And I told her about my I actually have I had a vision in my life that I was going to be a Kappa. It's so funny.
Yeah.
I think of it right now. Like, I don't know if Kappa Mecca would have been a real thing. You know what I mean? Like, Kappa Mecca. But this is Cash Color Campus Podcast, a high level of conversation. This episode is presented by Jay's Elevation. Established April 20th in Memphis, Tennessee. Jay's Elevation is a small family urban farm that focuses on providing the best hemp products from seed to experience. Learn more about their amazing products and all the services they offer for farmers at jayselevation.com. And as y'all know, I'm your host, Mecca King, tonight. It's Cash Color Campus Podcast. And I got my guest, my new friend. I'm glad to say you are my friend. My friend, Stacie Thompson, with a Table4Twenty. How you doing, Stacie?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, we are friends. I appreciate that.
Let me tell you how I know you're a friend of mine. Because I had a last-minute cancellation, and I called you right before you was about to go walk into work. And I said, hey, can you do the show tonight? And my friend said yes.
Get ready so you ain't gotta. No, stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready.
Man, look,
That's what's up.
Keep that mentality. I love that, man. I love that.
Anytime.
So, Stacie, you know, I do know a little bit about your background, and I love to talk about a Table4Twenty experience that you really created. It's not just an event, it's more of an experience. And just a little bit more about your background. But before we get into that, for those who don't know, can you please state your name and tell us what you do?
Sure. Okay. My name is Stacie Thompson. By day, I am the manager for the data architecture team at an advertising agency.
Really?
Yes, that's my day job, my 9-5. Okay. I super love it. I love all of the people there, and it's just really refreshing to go into a job that, you know, you just feel like you can be yourself.
That sounds like a salary.
Yeah.
That sounds salary.
And
position.
it's a pretty good salary, so that's cool too. And then
shout out to black women getting 401ks and all
that.
Hey,
financial plans.
There you go.
And then by night, I am co-owner of Table4Twenty, and we, as you mentioned, we curate cannabis-infused experiences. Mm-hmm. Usually we do dinner parties because we have seen that's what the crowd likes, but we've done movie nights, we've done like art galleries, whatever. It's just that we center ourselves around cannabis-infused food, education, entertainment, and we try to make sure that we have a really, really good time.
Okay, and it looks like you do have a really good time. I've been on the blog before, and I had a chance to kind of find out about you through social media before you came and got settled here in Atlanta. So I was always impressed with what you did.
Thank you.
Before we get into even a Table4Twenty, talk to me about how you discovered cannabis. Like, what was the first experience you had with the plant?
Oh, wow. Okay, so way back in the day when I was young and stupid and shouldn't have been doing anything in high school. I smoked a little bit with my friends, you know, just kids, being kids. And after that, like, I was never really like a quote unquote stoner or anything until after college, right? So I went to Mizzou, majored in advertising. I have been working in like TV advertising agencies ever since I graduated in 2009. And then I decided that I wanted to write like for sitcoms and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I took classes at Second City. And in order to,
Serious?
I did. People are so impressed when I say that I did stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I have my real estate license. How do you feel about that?
I mean, that's cool, but
Okay.
Second City's like Saturday Night Live. You know what I mean? Like
Yes,
basically
yes.
like a feeder system for Saturday
So
Night
I
Live.
was taking classes at Second City, and in order to help like get my creative juices flowing,
Mm-hmm.
I leaned on marijuana, and then I just started smoking marijuana. And I became an enthusiast very soon after that. But it helped, you know, like it helped like get down the creative block, and you can really like explore this whole other side of your brain that you can't usually tap into. So it definitely worked. I wrote a pilot. I hated it.
Really?
I hated it. But I did it. I tried it. So it was cool.
I like the fact you have a background in sitcom because we can have a whole different discussion, and I wish we were smoking right now to have this discussion. So recently, there was a debate about I forget my man's name, man. What was the dude from from Friends. Golly Ross from Friends had brought up that there should be a black version of Friends.
Well, so, there is a black version.
They came up. They said it was a black version of it. Clearly, it's called Living Single.
Yeah, the one they stole it from.
Now, here's my thing. Didn't they both steal it from Golden Girls? Like the basic pattern of both of those shows is Golden Girls. Like even Living Single, Blanche and
yeah, you're right. You're right.
They're like I mean, when you watch Living Single, like I'm literally watching the characters. Like even the theme song.
But you know, there's really nothing new under the sun. Everybody got something from somebody.
When we're talking about sitcoms, and that was my point. I'm glad we had a chance. I didn't know your background. We could have been talking about that. My point about that whole story, because I was like, I think both sides are silly because again, I could draw your roots easily to Golden Girls, both of your shows. Definitely. And sitcoms are like that. Like you have to go back to the 50s to find the roots of some of these shows.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that because every show really does follow the same basic outline. You could take any show and you just fill in the story arc.
Look, I'd blow somebody's mind if I said Hanging with Mr. Cooper was Three's Company. You know what I'm saying? Just with black people.
Yeah,
like, are you serious?
It's
like,
very true.
It's the same show. Like don't have like mental gymnastics over sitcoms, bro. Like let's not have racial wars over sitcoms. They are all copycats. They fill in time for advertisers.
Yeah, and I mean, you gravitate towards whatever you watch. You know you're gonna watch your people or not.
Yeah. So what's your relationship with the plant right now?
I am a Nate Dogg level user. Smoke weed.
Don't make me drop my mic.
Every day. And I, you know, it makes me so sad when people put stoners into this little box, you know, like just because I'm a stoner, I must be this like couch potato degenerate that doesn't add any value to society when really I go hard. Man, like I am always working. I'm always thirsty for the next opportunity. I'm always wanting to create something from scratch that's new. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's kind of why I created Table4Twenty. I feel like stoners really deserve luxury. This is not, you know, pot brownies that taste like grass. This is luxury cuisine, and we deserve it.
You know, and I'm a big fan of, I'm a big fan of recreating and reimagining some of the things that we see in cannabis that we've always been told. Like you use the term stoner, I say consumer. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a consumer of cannabis. That's it. I'm not a stoner for y'all. I don't look at myself as a shaggy. You know what I mean? I look at myself as somebody who smokes on a regular basis, who runs a couple of businesses and also works. You know, so.
Definitely. No, I hear you. And I just feel like, I don't know, I could go both ways. I'm not mad at the name. I just feel like, you know, in general, we put people in boxes in society. And I feel like, as you can see, like the way things are going, it's kind of time to come up out of that.
Yeah. So have you speaking about your corporate background, do you pull from your advertising background when it comes to trying to market and create around a Table4Twenty?
Oh my God, yes. I have huge plans for Table4Twenty, all centered around kind of what I've learned just being around the advertising industry. And you know, as an entrepreneur, I encourage everybody to use whatever they have to do what they want to do. Like, no matter what you're doing for your 9 to 5, if you do have that entrepreneurial spirit, there is something there that you can leverage as an entrepreneur. Yeah,
and I'm sure you've noticed that advertising and marketing in cannabis versus advertising and marketing in mainstream America is drastically different, and the rules are drastically different. How do you looking at where we are right now with marketing and advertising in cannabis? Where do you see us as far as being able to go? You know what I mean? Like the rules and stuff aren't really changing. Like how do you feel like people can best advertise and best market their companies where we're in a place where still there's nothing real concrete you can use, even social media? Yeah,
you know, for Table4Twenty specifically, we try to stay in our lane, and our lane is really food and party and having a good time and creating that good atmosphere. So I really just try to stay focused on like what the aura of us is, because, you know, number one, it's easy to capture that kind of with or without the cannabis. And number two, just with the name Table4Twenty, it's like, if you know, you know. That's like that secret cuckoo, you know who we calling out there. You know what I'm saying? So We're just trying to, we've had to take some real covert efforts because we were in a place where, or we are kind of still in this gray place where it's taboo and it's illegal in certain places and it's murky water, So that's what we do. I don't know if that will work for every cannabis business, but that's what we tried.
Well, we kind of lightweight touched on it when you mentioned that you were working a little bit, interning with Second City.
I took classes, writing classes.
Took classes. That you're from Chicago.
Mm-hmm. I am. Yeah. I'm from Chicago. So I've only been in Atlanta about a year now. And it's crazy because Table4Twenty started and took off extremely fast. And when I started it, I had no idea that, I could possibly be moving to Atlanta. And like I said, I'm a co-founder, so I have a business partner, of course. And she happens to be my best friend since 6th grade. And
was she the one you smoked weed with?
Because she has a corporate job, I may or may not have.
Okay,
I'm not going to answer it directly. But anywho, so I went to her and I was like, I got this opportunity to go to Atlanta. I don't know. Table4Twenty just started here in Chicago. We're taking off. Like, should I move? And she was like, girl, Atlanta's a place to be. She was like, go down there, get us started, and I'm on my way. And I was like, all right, bet. And so that's kind of how that happened.
That's what's up.
It's good to have a nice, strong support system.
It definitely is. Definitely is. So the concept for Table4Twenty, how did that come about initially?
Okay, so I'm going to take a couple steps back. It's kind of a long story, but not too long. Try to follow me, okay?
Oh, well, while you talking, I'm going to grab my cookies.
Okay, so my grandfather and I are really, really tight. Mm-hmm. That's like my road dog. And unfortunately, he passed away on 4/20 in 2015.
Sorry to hear that.
So as a Nate Dogg level consumer, obviously I took a severe hit. 4/20 was like my holiday, and now I got this big gloomy cloud hovering over it. Meanwhile, I'm in the advertising industry. I was a digital media buyer. So one of the sellers at that time, we had gotten cool, and he got wind of this private underground 4/20 party. This was like in 17, so 2 years later. So I've had 2 horrible years of 4/20s, and he asked me if I wanted to go to this underground 4/20 party. I'm like, of course I want to go. Absolutely I want to go. Like, why are we there already? Like, why are you even talking to me, right? So I went to this party. It was at a restaurant, shut down, and I noticed that the crowd was majority white, but it was an amazing experience. We were smoking out of pineapples and watermelons.
I like how you said that. It was a majority white crowd, but it was great.
It was awesome. I noticed that, and I'm going to come back to why I had to point that out in a second, but I noticed that. And the atmosphere was amazing. The drinks were infused. The food was infused. The dessert was infused. We're passing cones. We're smoking out of watermelons. Like, it was like the best experience I ever had. And in the midst of the dinner, he leans over to me and he says, somebody could probably get a whole lot of money off of a model like this. And I'm like, I think that somebody should be me. So I felt like I ran home and called my best friend / business partner. And I'm like, bitch, I just left this party, bitch.
Did you do the hair flip?
Yes. I probably had an afro, still did the hair flip. I was like, I just left this party. It was amazing. They had this, they had that. Like, we should do this. And she like, all right, set it up there. So we took a whole year just planning, creating the name, how we gonna do the structure. Neither one of us are chefs. That's the main question I always get is like, so do you cook? Do you cook? Do you cook? No, y'all, I don't cook. I barely make all my HelloFresh meals in a week. We're party curators. So we're using our advertising background, our foodie background, all of our many skills and talents and Black girl magic, and we're curating the parties and we're hiring different chefs. And long term, like, I really would like Table4Twenty to be that like Showtime at the Apollo for chefs, that like master chef platform for chefs. So we have these chefs that can come through and, you know, really get their name out there, especially in the cannabis community. And the reason that I pointed out that the party that I went to was majority Caucasian is because like I felt like Black people specifically deserved something like this, because, and not just black and brown, you know, my Hispanic brethren, we are one people, you know, and I feel like the sooner that we realize that and start to work together, shit could get real out here. Yeah. Anywho, I really feel like we deserve that, because so much throughout history just have been taken from our people. So to my point about, you know, stoners getting a bad rap, Black and brown people having, you know, to go through so much turmoil just to be citizens in this country, like we deserve something like FUBU, straight up, for us, by us. And, you know, I'm honored to just be able to like produce it. I truly feel blessed to do that. That's
hilarious. So you went to this event, smoked weed out of a watermelon, came up with just pissed off about colonization of cannabis, and said, I'm gonna create my own brand. Thank you for the invite.
Yes, absolutely. That's it. That's it. I mean, it was just, I don't know about you or anybody else that smokes weed, but I have made so many friends, many new friends, over smoking weed. And I can even tell, like, in the Table4Twenty parties, sometimes we have people who come alone, and like at the beginning of the party, they're really kind of shy and reserved. But by the end of that party, everybody is friends. Yeah. Like, you can, like, the energy that the parties create, that positive energy where everybody is talking and vibing and laughing and smoking, that's like my crack. Like, if we could bottle that up, like, I would be sniffing that all day. Like, it is such a great feeling to just create this good time. Like, at the end of the day, at the end of life, there's going to be a whole bunch of things that you forget, a whole bunch of things that you won't remember, but you're going to have these feelings, you know, these specific nostalgic moments, these feelings that are ingrained in you and are a part of you. And I hope that Table4Twenty is that feeling for everybody that comes through.
Girl, you just gave me life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that felt good as hell.
Like, I really do. Like, I feel like, you know, that's what we need. We need that energy.
Yeah, we do need that energy. I 100% agree with you. So when looking at it, like, and you kind of answered one of my questions, but I'd like for you to elaborate a little bit more. What has been some of your more memorable moments from bringing forward the event?
Oh, man. Like, memorable moments in Table4Twenty specifically? Well, just in general, overall, I get to create and run the company with my best friend, which can get tense at times, but just being able to create something with somebody that I truly trust, you know, somebody that I know has my back, somebody that I know, you know, it's just going to be there through me, no matter what. So that's just an amazing feeling off top. And just like our trials and tribulations, because I don't know if you know this, but chefs are like artists. Oh. And artists are crazy.
They particular about their art now.
Oh, yeah. So we have had arguments with chefs. We have had plenty of conference calls where we hanging up and calling each other after the conference call, like, bitch. Or they be like, what? And he's like, I don't even know. Or like, we'll be texting during the conference call, like, what the fuck you just say? Like, what? Like, going back and forth. So like, all of that is really fun and funny. I will say, now I have this experience with almost every party. But when I talk about like the thickness of the energy and like how real that is, the most memorable moment was at our very, very first one. Okay. So that was like First of all, I had so many people that loved me that came through, right? So, of course, my business partner is my best friend. The DJ was my boyfriend at the time. The chef was a friend that I knew from high school. The venue belonged to a girl that I met networking. We did it in her apartment that she just happened to have up for rent. And we rented the furniture. We got everything in there. We set everything up so nice. We had 2 full tables. The staff was just working, and I remember looking at the party, like just stopping and looking around and thinking to myself, like, bitch, you did that. Yes. So that was like one of the most memorable ones. Cause I mean, and it was hard too, cause I don't know, like, as an entrepreneur, you know this, we don't know what we're doing.
No, you don't even know what the result gonna be.
No, you have no idea what you're doing. You're making shit up as you go along. You're hoping and praying everything works out. You're hoping that you thought through every step of the process, but you know for a fact that you missed something. Yeah. So, you know, to see things come together and really go off without a hitch is really great. And I will say, too, shout out to my business partner, for real, because we have a knack for execution. Like, I've been to other events, it ain't starting on time, it ain't following the schedule, the guests not there, the food ain't ready. Like, we do this.
I can see that working with y'all. I bet you the battles you've had with chefs have been amazing.
Oh, epic! I wish if she was here to recount, I totally would. But epic, absolutely.
You know, but I like your concept of trying to highlight various chefs and various chefs from event to event, and not just sticking with one person, because you do give somebody a chance to kind of broaden out their own base.
Absolutely. And like, so we do member events once a quarter, like we're gonna do with you coming up. But people can also book us for their own private events. So how I envision it in the future is that we have whole chef profiles. Maybe we have a chef that specializes in THC. Maybe we have one that specializes in CBD. Maybe we have one that works specifically with people with epilepsy or other certain ailments that cannabis can help. Like, it's just so many ways that we could go.
I like that business model. I should write that down. It's really dope.
Cut me in 10%.
That is dope. And you mentioned that you do member events. So outside of the events, what else would a member get for being part of Table4Twenty?
So we're really working that out right now. I think that's one of the future things, because right now with THC, you can't go direct to consumer. You have to go to the dispensary. So there's some ideas that we have, but right now it's just the events, and I'm hoping to, in the very near future, try to get an event space so we can do things more often.
No, I feel you on that one. So looking down the road, like, what's the evolution for Table4Twenty? Like, are we going to see, I know you want to branch out to Atlanta. You already have Chicago on lock. Do we see you trying to travel across the country to different places, even possibly even taking it international?
Absolutely. So call me, beat me if you want to reach me. I don't care where you at. Call my phone and we can set it up, and I'm on the way.
Yo, was that a tweet? Was that a tweet quote?
That's Kim Possible.
Oh, Kim Possible? Is that? Why would I know that? That sounded like tweet. Like call me. Like the tweet song, Call Me. I was like, did that tweet mine?
No, so I mean, I just said all that to say, so we'll still throw a party anywhere. If somebody wanted to hire us in New York, it's just a little more expensive because you got to cover travel costs, but we're totally worth it. So yes, short answer, you will see us everywhere in the very near future. But short term, I'm hoping to have consumption spaces in Chicago so our members can come, bring their product, enjoy different experiences, enjoy cannabis, etc.
Chicago is Illinois is legal now.
It is legal now.
Yeah, what's it like going to Chicago and seeing that now?
It's kind of crazy to me, honestly. My uncle called me at like 6 a.m. on January 1st. How about some? Yeah, we on our way to the dispensary. You coming? I'm like, not for 42% tax. I'm still calling my weed man. I'll see y'all in July when you calm down. But I mean, I feel like it's still a lot of gray areas and a lot of laws that people are learning how to get around. The number one thing I want to make sure that I see in Chicago is all of the dispensaries that have the power spread that love to all of the deserving entrepreneurs in the cannabis industry that are out here trying to get it, especially our Black and brown brethren.
Now, when you say spread love, what do you mean? Is it like financial or?
Yes, all of that. Financial, sponsorships, giving them platforms. For instance, for Table4Twenty, it would be amazing if we could partner with a dispensary directly and start with just throwing events for all of their customers.
That's actually a good idea. I like
so that that's all they have to do is call Table4Twenty and say, hey, I want to set up some monthly, weekly, whatever type of events for people that patron us.
Yeah, I'm sure. Have you reached out to any owners out there? I mean, we had Head Crack on here. You reached out to
Yes, absolutely, definitely. And even before just now, I feel like. So I was on Windy City Live in December of, I believe, 2018. I reached out to mad dispensaries at that time.
What's Windy City Live?
Windy City Live is like an ABC show. It comes on right after the news. It's Chicago local.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So I think y'all have like Sister Circle or something similar here in Atlanta. So it's like one of those shows. And to do that show, I reached out to so many dispensaries. There was one that I found that was willing to sponsor us. And because of him, we were able to do the event for Friendsgiving. So they came out and taped it.
Now, question, do you feel like it was more of an issue of tapping into Black dispensaries? Like, do you feel like a dispensary in general would have been more open to working with you versus you trying to tap into a dispensary was owned by a person of color?
The dispensary that sponsored us was not owned by a person of color.
Okay, now because my question is, I feel like Black business needs to be supported. That's always known. I feel like Black people are really slow to support Black business, and I think I didn't need a video to see this. I've been in media officially since 2004 as a paid member since 2007. I know for a fact on a red carpet, I don't care how revolutionary you are as an artist, you will walk right by me and pass right by me and go to a white outlet with no problem. I didn't need to see Lizzo and all them walking by. Matter of fact, I was more blown away that they did it. You saw yourself later on social media, didn't make no statements, didn't try to correct it. Like, that's how much you don't really give a shit about us. And I feel like there's a real issue, the disconnect when it comes to us supporting our own businesses. It's almost like there's this constant hesitation where, like you say, the brand that supported you wasn't even a brand of color. Like,
it wasn't.
I give people, Georgia Hemp Company has advertised with us so many times. Like, it's almost like pulling teeth trying to get a Black person to support us sometimes like that.
Well, I think... Oh my gosh, it's so many facets of that I want to address.
And it's not like I'm light Black, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm super Black on this show. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I should be offensive to some people.
Dark Black.
Yeah,
okay.
I should really
Blue
be
Black, y'all.
Occasionally to a lot of our sponsors, and they are all the way behind us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't get y'all to jump on.
I'm gonna try to address it in a bunch of facets without being boring. Number one. Every Black business, including myself, y'all, I'm putting myself out here and being accountable. We have to do better at the stereotypical Black business vibe. So if you have a meeting, show up on time. If you need to reschedule that thing, reschedule it more than 24 hours in advance, okay? Have your paperwork together. Have your money right. I feel like I've been to several of your tapings here, and that has been the common theme of almost every other cannabis entrepreneur that's sat in front of this microphone. Have your money right. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's that. Then the other thing is, I could throw a party with you, but if you wanted some money for Table4Twenty, we ain't got none. So, we're trying to get on just like you are. So it's hard for us to support each other because at the end of the day, we're all trying to get the coin. Yeah. So that's the other part of it. And I think the last part of it is just you definitely have a point. We have to make it a priority. That's why I'm so happy to be in Atlanta because, like I was telling you earlier, I'm getting all my magic from Black women. The hair, the nails, the accessories. I am really out here trying to patron Black businesses because I'm not broke.
Yeah.
I got money to spend. You know what I mean? And it's very important to me that I spend it with my people, deserving people. I'm never going to spend a coin with you just because you're black.
I feel you.
So let's, we should support each other, but we should never feel entitled.
I feel, and I definitely agree about the entitled part, but I feel like there's a thing where, we need to support each other, and we need to do it as not a threat to quote unquote white businesses or even a mainstream business, whatever you want to call it. It shouldn't be y'all are not treating us right, so now I'm gonna go over here to Mecca. Well, Mecca don't want you now either. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been raising my hand over here for 3 years now. You never want to come on the show. Don't do it now because these 3 outlets over here that you've been begging for 3 years don't want you on.
Yes,
there.
no, that's
I'm
totally
not a threat.
true.
We're not a threat.
And then again, shout out to black women, because I feel like I have gotten several calls on the Table4Twenty reservation line saying, I saw that there was a sister in this industry doing this, so I want you to do my birthday party. I want you to do my anniversary party. I want you to do whatever party. Yeah. And ain't none of them complained about the coin I was charging or tried to strike a deal.
Man, look, let's keep that energy going.
Yes, they came through with their coin ready to pay full price. And just off the strength that they saw the interview on TV and they saw that I was really out here trying to, do a good service. Yeah. So
I applaud you.
There's some people out there.
Yeah, we
don't lose hope.
No, I never lose hope. And I don't use stereotypes either. I feel like a lot of the stuff that we say is black business, like you say, not having your money right, all this other stuff. I deal with that on occasion with all other races. Y'all just don't get tagged almost like that's like something we have to live with. And I feel like, again, it's a mentality thing. We walk around like we have to live with that as a lifestyle. That's not our lifestyle. That's everybody's lifestyle. We all could break out of that. Just stop being cheap. Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's like stop being real specific about what you call yourself needing for business. That's not a black thing. That's a people thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like there is no color to shady. There is no color to broke. There is no color to disorganized.
There's no
color to lazy. So we have for so long put people in these specific boxes, and I feel like finally blinders are coming off. Like, these boxes don't belong here.
True. We gonna do an event soon, aren't we?
Yes. Yeah. So would you like to tell the people about the event coming up? You want me to tell them? Okay, I'll tell them.
I'll tell them. No. You've been talking a lot.
Okay. It's your show. Give the mic back.
So me and my good friend here, Stacie Thompson, along with her business partner, who's kind of here like as an invisible woman, we're gonna be doing this event called CashColorCuisine. It's gonna be March 20. I'm about to say the 28th. It's a Saturday. Mm-hmm. It's looking like we're going to be doing it here at our location here at LivehiphopDaily, 140 Walker Street.
Maybe or
okay,
not.
I hear you, but I think we're about to be doing it here.
Maybe or not.
Okay. But we're doing an event.
But we're doing an event together, and I think it is the perfect collaboration, obviously. And I appreciate you for choosing me, honestly, because, when I came to Atlanta, I had no idea how I was going to introduce Table4Twenty to the market.
Oh, I was feeling like I'm a girl from Grey's Anatomy. I was like, pick me, choose me. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to do something and I really dug what you was doing anyway. So I was like, oh, here I am.
Oh yeah, man. We had our first event down here on 420 of last year, and it was hard to put together. Like,
what day did you try? Was 420 was what day now?
I don't even remember. It had to be a Saturday.
Oh, because I'm like, Atlanta's like really busy certain days. Like between like Thursday and Saturday, it's almost impossible to do something.
I mean, it was a good event. We got people there, but most of those people like traveled to come see us. They weren't like Atlanta local people, So it's like, it's still not an introduction to the market, exactly. And then I realized that you kind of do things very differently. To find a space that had a kitchen that we could actually use that wasn't a restaurant was really hard. Yeah. And then talking about infusing cannabis in other people's restaurants, they were like, girl, I got laughed out of several places.
I believe you, because it's real
like, girl, bye.
It's real specific. You can really contaminate the materials and all the equipment in there.
Lots of learning curves.
Shout out to Scott Lee Ennis. Yeah, I learned that through Scott Lee, man. Yeah, it's levels to being able to do these infused dinners and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I'm glad you got the vibe, though. You came down here and you're doing your thing. And now we about to do CashColorCuisine, and we're going to be making that a quarterly event that we do here in Atlanta.
Yes.
And I'm very excited to work with you on this because it's part of our evolution. Like I've had several things on the back burner that we've been trying to do, but I'm a one person guy. You know what I mean? Like there's really so much I can do on my own, and I'm trying to break out of that shell and invite other people in.
Definitely.
Like, I had a conversation with somebody recently, and I was like, I got all these creatives around me. I got from Nicole to East to Danny's and all them. I said I kind of need a business person around me because I don't like doing a bunch of this stuff. I can. Like, even tomorrow, I'm having to run and go do all the shirts and do all this stuff. It's like, come on, bro.
Yeah, and that's the thing about owning a business. Like, you think you can do what you love, but what you love is actually like 20% of what it actually takes to run the whole business. So I don't get to smoke as much weed as I thought I would with Table4Twenty, but it's still cool.
But I appreciate you, and I appreciate you working with me as far as on this because yes, it was part of our evolution. Like I did want to start involving different events outside of us. Atlanta City Market is one of the events we do. But it's dope that we're gonna be doing CashColorCuisine.
Exciting.
I'm excited about it.
Me too.
So we're gonna be giving more details about CashColorCuisine as we go throughout this week and next week. So you'll be looking out for flyers and our promotional material. But it's gonna be dope. I think that we're gonna put together some real magic here.
Exactly. And I want to encourage everybody to really come out, whether you are a Nate Dogg level user.
I love that
as
term
well,
now.
Or if you're a super novice, I'm gonna have something for everybody. So come and learn about CBD. Come and learn about THC. Quick personal story. So I was actually in a car accident in March of last year, like right when I first got here. And
was it your fault or their fault?
It was their fault. Okay. I can drive. Thank you. Atlanta cannot drive though.
Don't be stereotypical either. I grew up in Boston. Nobody can drive, dog. Like, none of y'all can drive.
But anyway, so I have still back problems from that accident. So eventually I was talking to somebody and he convinced me to try 200 milligram THC pills. And at first I thought he was boosting. I'm like, dog, first of all, I'm Nate Dogg, okay? Yeah. These THC pills ain't finna do nothing for me. I smoke daily. Obviously, if cannabis was gonna help this ailment, it would have by now. Dog. The best thing since revolving doors for me since then.
Consumption methods, man. Like every consumption method's different.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like it went from like feeling like Hunchback of Notre Dame to what car accident? So
Notre Dame.
Yeah, seriously.
She's so bougie. Notre Dame. Oh my gosh.
Really?
He's so bougie.
Why are you giving me so much trouble?
This is why I have fun with you though. This is why this is gonna be a great partnership. So, as we looking for, saying this is going to be a great year, this is going to be a great decade. I feel like we're going to be introducing a lot of amazing black entrepreneurs into the cannabis space over this next 10 years. You know what I mean? Where do you feel like a place like Atlanta, I feel like right now we're almost incubating a lot of these new stars and a lot of these new entrepreneurs. Do you feel the same? Like that when you came to Atlanta, like that Atlanta kind of got this vibe where, and I got this, and I'm piggybacking off of somebody who actually sent me a text message this morning, my man Bruce, that I think we are kind of the mecca of cannabis in a way. Like we're not recreational. You can't grow down here and no shit, but I know what I'm watching. You know what I'm saying? And I'm about to watch people do some revolutionary stuff down here that's going to definitely affect people in California's and outside this country. You know what I mean? Like really, we're watching some really brilliant entrepreneurs come through here.
I think that Atlanta is evolutionary on the party scene, period. I mean, think about it. Like, y'all had Freaknik. Seriously, like, people come down to Atlanta because Atlanta always has something that's super, super happening. Yeah. So when I got the opportunity to come down here, that was one of the reasons, because I felt like even with cannabis still being a little bit taboo down here, still with it being barely legal, it's such a party city that people are ready for the wave and the consumers are ready to take it off anyway. So I definitely feel like there are going to be some things that come out of Atlanta that will change the whole game. All right.
So we got to write a sitcom next. I didn't know
I
you were
would love to do that.
Because actually, I got about 2 scripts written in my house. Like one of them, actually, I'm gonna give y'all a little hint, because one of them I feel like should be done. Like I was really, it was a job I did when I was in college, and I was a salesman. and I should have been a shitty one, but I was a really good one at this shit. And I think that it should be a movie, and it's called The Perfume Mafia, and we're gonna talk about this later.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
I'm so down.
About the Perfume Mafia is a real thing. Check me, yo.
We could get on Netflix real quick.
Fresh out of college, your boy was dropping bottles all up and down North Carolina, South Carolina. I did not know I was a salesman. Didn't know I had it in me. I even learned the technique, the point. Yo, really, if you point at somebody, they do stop, and they don't, because people want to know why you're pointing at them. So after they stop, you can now have a conversation like, hey, so I got this, blah 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 blah. Now I got you whole captured. Do that. Point, yeah. Yo, so trust me. If you are out here canvassing, you selling CDs, mixtapes, DVDs, anything, and you are in a crowd of people and you see people walking, point. I bet you that person stops, and then you pull out what you gonna sell. Hey, bro, I got blah, 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 blah. Either they gonna take it or not.
Okay.
Perfume Mafia, baby. Yo, we was cracking.
Next time I need to sell something, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
We was cracking. Yeah, I used to sell perfume. Seriously, the guys used to sell the bootleg perfumes on the street. First job out of college was selling perfume. I learned every sales technique under the sun doing that, man.
I'm so bad at sales.
I got so good at one point. I remember pointing at this one dude who's in South Carolina. I remember pointing at this dude, and he just looked at me and said, went in his pocket, pulled out $20 and gave it to me and just walked away.
Don't sell me nothing.
Don't sell me nothing, but just take the money, bro. I'm good. You good. I seen you all day.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, so I look forward to working with you. I think this is going to be a dope connection, and I really appreciate you coming through the show and sharing your background and how you got
Thanks
into
for having me.
No problem. Before we get out of here, let people know how they can become a member possibly of Table4Twenty and how they can keep up with all the events and everything that we do.
Okay, so to become a member for Table4Twenty is very simple. All you have to do is join our mailing list. So you can DM us on Instagram at A table4 all spelled out TWENTY Table4Twenty, or you can go to our website, click the join the email list button,
hit that cuckoo.
Yes, hit that silent cuckoo. So anytime our events drop, it goes to the member list first before it even goes on social media, and the password only goes out to the members. So if you're not on the list, you cannot get the password to go to the party.
So secret.
Exclusive.
My bad. Yeah, change my tone.
Exclusive.
She put bass in her chest. That was exclusive. Stacie, I really enjoy your time today, man. Thank you very much for coming by tonight.
Thanks for having me.
And that is Cash Color Cannabis, again, presented by Jay's Elevation. Follow Cash Color Cannabis at Cash Color Cannabis on Instagram, and please rate and review us wherever you do stream the show, and that's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, or wherever you stream podcasts, except for Tidal. I mean, I'm going to get there eventually. We ain't on Tidal. Thank everybody for tuning in. That's Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation.